Good morning, dear students of 11th class. Welcome to our online class. How are you? Hope you all are well. Today I have selected a topic for you under English second paper. And the name of the topic is writing report for newspaper. Very pragmatic issue, very practical issue. Because if you would like to develop your career as a reporter, that is a media worker, which is an attractive profession, which is really a glamorous profession, what should I say, a challenging profession in today's circumstances. This is a smart job, as I believe. You can choose your career as a reporter. This is an age of information. This is an age of media communication, an age of media communication. You know, media is of two types, that is electronic media and print media. Electronic media, you know, electronic media and print media. Number one. Number two, electronic media means satellite televisions, and print media means press, that is newspaper. And our concern is with print media, or press, that is we'll have to write a report for the newspapers. The topic is that. Notice here, writing report for newspaper. That is our topic. Our concern is related to print media, not electronic media. You may even become a reporter in any electronic media. Most of the times, the news in electronic media is telecast live. Anyway, that's not our concern. Our concern is with print media. What is your report? Dear students, if I ask you a question, I'm sure that you are familiar with reports, especially in print media. Even today, hundreds of thousands of reports in news, hundreds of thousands of newspapers, hundreds of thousands of news reports have been published. Even if you read the newspapers of today's morning, that is have already knocked your door, that is every day. In our daily life, hundreds of thousands of newspaper with hundreds of thousands of news coverages, that is news reports, come to our door in today's world, all over the world. I am talking about, of course, all about the world. As I have already said, today's world is the world of media communication. So this topic is important for you in two ways. Number one, this is important for your exam, because this is on your syllabus. You will have to write a report for newspaper in your exam, which carries 10 marks. And this is also a pragmatic subject, a practical subject, because if you like, you can opt for this profession, that is reporting. Reporting in newspaper can be a good profession, a glamorous profession, as I have already said. You are familiar with the news reportings, no doubt. Even if you open today's newspapers, you can get a lot of news reports. So this is a familiar topic to you. Now, how can we define a news report? The report which is published in newspapers can be called news reports. Okay, as in Collins Dictionary, we get a definition. And how does Collins Dictionary define? A report published in a newspaper called a news report. A report published in a newspaper called a news report. Very easy. The report or the reports which we get in a newspaper every day, this type of reports are called news report. You have to follow some guidelines in writing a good news reports, because news report follows some specific structure. News report is always formal. News report is always factual. A news report should have 6 parts. I am not going to discuss that parts today. Actually, I have divided my discussion on this topic, that is writing newspaper. I have divided into 2 parts. That is, I will give you 2 classes on this topic. In my today's class, I am going to deal with only the nature and the features of a newspaper and a report of a report for newspaper. Today I will discuss only the nature and the features. That is, only the definitional things will be discussed today on this topic in my class. And for my next class, I have left the discussion on different parts of a news report. So this discussion on this topic has been divided into 2 parts, as I have divided. In today's class, that is in my first class on this topic, I will discuss only the nature and the features of a news report, and in my future class, I would like to discuss different parts of a news report. Anyway, so as we have already got our definition from Collins Dictionary, that is a report published in a newspaper called news report. Very easy. And here definition is not important actually, except as a part of understanding the nature of a news report, we need the definition. There may be some other definitions, of course, but I think that there are no controversies among the experts what is called a news report. This is, I think, not something vital. Anyway, I have written some pieces of a news report here, as many as 8 pieces. And there may be many other pieces, but I have presented here only the major pieces of a news report. And what are those? Number 1, remember that news report, that is, and I have written here something, that is, the purpose of a news report is to inform readers of what is happening in the world around them. The purpose, this is important, of course, that is, why should we write a news report? Our purpose, our aim, our objective is to inform. So this is important, to inform readers of what is happening in the world around them. What is happening? So through a news report, we would like to present the information regarding what is happening around us. What may happen? So we have to write a report, or we have to present a report on the present circumstances or some situations of the events. And these events or the circumstances or the situations may happen economically. That is, in exam, most of the times you have to write a report on some simple things or incidents, which the common incidents or common accidents or common events which happen around us. For example, you have to write a report on the celebration of different national and international days. For example, write a report on the International Mother Language Day or Shahid Divas. You have to write this type of simple things. You have to write a report or the prize giving ceremony or the freshers welcome on your campus, or some economic situations or the current affairs. So you have to you should have preparation for writing a report on COVID-19, because this is current affairs. This is nationally, internationally important, shaking the whole world. So this type of common topic comes most of the time in the exam. So just the common things, the common situations, the day-to-day events which take place around us in our daily life, these types of common and easy things come in the exam. So you should take preparation on this type of current affairs and the common things around you. So the purpose of news report is to inform readers of what is happening in the world, and in going to inform your readers all this, what should you do? It should be, that is, a report should have some phases, and some of the major phases of them maybe as number one, your report should be formal in style and impartial in tone. You are familiar with this word, formal and then impersonal. So report should always be formal, not informal. That is, formal means it has a prescribed format, structure, as an application is formal. So you have to be careful about the format and the content, and also the appropriate or prescribed style of presenting something formal. So a report is not something informal, but it is something formal. So you should have to abide by some rules strictly to present something formal. For example, you should follow the prescribed style or the format of the structure of a report. Number one. Number two, just for example, what is called formal? For example, you should not use the informal words or the contractions or contracted form of the words. For example, shouldn't, isn't, haven't, hasn't, etc. These are very informal, and this type of informal contractions, the short forms are used in informal writing. So you should not use this type of contractions. For example, in the case of a formal writing, and a news report is always formal. Just for some examples. And then it should be impersonal in tone. Impersonal means writing should always be of two types, that is subjective and objective writing. Number one, writing, the mode of writing should always be of two types. Number one, subjective, and number two, objective. Subjective writing and objective writing. Personal tone means subjective tone. That is, news report should always be objective or impersonal, not personal. Objective means, subjective means you should not express, you should not include your own opinions, your own personal passions, your own liking, disliking, etc. in your reporting. You should be objective. You cannot give your personal view, your personal opinion. That is, you should not be partial. Your report should be impartial. If you want to present a substantial report, it must be objective or impartial. That is, your personal things should not be included in your report. Your personal emotion, your personal likings and dislikings, your personal feelings, all these personal things should be avoided. A reporter should keep himself or herself aloof from his report to make his report substantial. If you include your own opinions, your own feelings and liking and dislikings in your reporting, this will be partial and biased report. So, impersonal or objective tone should be used in a news report. Number two, written in the past tense. News report should be written in the past tense, not in future tense or not in present tense. Usually, if needs, you can even mix up the tenses, but usually news report is written in past tense, because most of the times what you are describing or narrating in your report has already happened. As it has already happened, so it is past, and that is why you should use the past tense in describing your report. And then short and concise. Report should be short. If you that is, there are different types of reports. Reports are basically of two types: long report and short report. And basically, news report is a short report. That is, reports can be of two types basically, long report and short report. And our news report belongs to the short report category. There are many other types of reports. For example, engineering report, medical report, progressive report, periodical report, research report. There are many other reports. But all those are not our concern. We are working with only the news report which belongs to the short report category. If you make your news report too much longer, then your readers will be fed up. They will take it as something disgusting. So try to make your report short, and short and concise. Concise means short but comprehensible, brief but comprehensible. That is, what should I say? Macro in micro. Macro in micro. That is, I try to express maximum at the cost of minimum words. So maximum, try to convey maximum message at the cost of the minimum words. This is called concise. And then factual. Of course, report means a fact. Fact means true incident, true situation, true event. So your reports should be factual. That is, report should be based on facts and not on any ready-made stories. If it is a report, a substantial report should always be based on facts or something that has truly happened. It should not be something fictitious. It is a fact. A report is not a fiction. It is a fact. And then complete. Of course, as we are saying that a report should be short and concise. It does not mean that you should leave it incomplete. But however short it may be. And what is the usual length of a news report? It cannot be pinpointed. It depends on what has actually happened. It may be, sometimes it may be longer, it may be shorter. It is not actually predefined that the length should be 200 words or 100 words, or it may be in 50 words, or even it may be 500 words. But always try to shorten your reports, and then clear and easily understandable. Of course, your reporting should be clear and easily understandable. That is, you should select your words, your dictions. The special use of words or the careful selection of words with specific objective in mind is called diction. So, newspaper reporting should follow some special selection of words, some selective words or diction, and you should not use the bombastic words, the complicated words, because your readers may feel disgusted if they are to look up the words frequently in the dictionary. So try to use the words simple and common, just to help your readers, so that they are not to look up the words frequently in the dictionary. So try to use common but meaningful, appropriate words in your report. And then number 7, included the analysis of all the related information. Of course, you should not leave any information regarding the event or the situation you are describing in your report. So just in short, within time, try to present all the relevant analysis of all the relevant information in your report. You should remember that you should not leave any analysis which is essential in the presentation of all the pros and cons of your report. Otherwise, it will be an incomplete report, and it will not be able to satisfy the public mind, the public curiosity. So you should present all the analysis in details to present the report in the way that it is able to satisfy the public mind and to remove the public curiosity through your good and expert reporting. And last, present it attractively. Yes, of course, try to present your report attractively and try to make it attractive in style, in content, and in presentation. It should be attractive so that it can draw the attention of your readers. You should put an attractive and eye-catching but short heading or title. This is the first part of a report, that is heading or title. But I am not going to discuss the different parts. That is, the report has usually 6 parts. The first part is heading or title. I would like to resume my discussion on this topic from this point in my future class. And let me invite you to join my next class to learn about the different parts of a news report. Thank you very much for joining me today.